What's going on YouTube? It's Coolie, and today I'm going to be bringing you an easy free-to-play way to take down the new Kingdom Hearts challenge fight against Darkside using basically a 3 to 4 star based support team centered around a Cloud Kingdom Hearts friend unit. What you need is 30% dark resistance on pretty much all of your characters. I'm actually not using 30% dark resist on my Warrior of Light, but I'll explain why in a moment. So we're using Drace. Drace has a 70% dark barrier that goes on all units. So we have, make sure that we have 30% on everybody, and she's going to be using that. On top of that, she has Dispel and Cradle of Horns. The other gear actually doesn't even really matter. I'm actually going to show you why. Right? Let's take off everything. I just built her for HP and MP, but she really doesn't need anything other than this. She just needs Dispel and Cradle of Horns. That's it. Mim is going to be using her breaks. Mim is a 3 to 5 star character who has a bunch of single target breaks that are at 50%, which is pretty high for a 3-star base unit. Once again, the gear not super important. 30% dark resist is important, so we're going to keep that on. And you know what? Let's just go back to Drace's. Wow, 50% dark resist naturally. Okay, from using Diablos, no problem. So Mim is just going to be keeping her Dark Robe. We could actually take everything else off. We don't care about none of this stuff. Right? The only thing we're going to be using is Mystical Skull. It's important that we have that. To increase her limit burst fill gauge rate, right? And then I gave her Holy just because we might need to cast a magic spell with her to finish off the fight. So here you go. Mystical Skull, 30% dark resist, and Holy. That's it. Magna has a bunch of different magic stuff on. You don't have to use this specific stuff, just your best magic stuff. Magna has the Dark Robe as well for 30% dark resist, but you can basically use anything you like. You can use an Angel Earring or any of the free-to-play items that give you dark resistance. And just, you know, her best magic stuff. We'll leave that stuff on because she's going to be a damage dealer. The reason why we're using Magna over somebody like Agrias, right, is because Magna has Divine Ruination frames on her magic attack, Sacred Flux, and Agrias has an innate 5% chance to like cover females, so we don't want that to proc and mess everything up. Warrior of Light I built for full evade just because it's what he had on from my last video, and I don't feel like changing everything. But if you don't want to do the full evade route, you don't have to. You can just put your best HP and defense gear on him and make sure he has 30% dark resistance. Just a quick sidebar about the Star Guard. Just like I told you in the last video, I'm missing the Kiyomori and the Lucky Bangles, so I have to use this item to achieve full evade with Warrior of Light. But if you have either one of those items, you do not have to use this. You can use the Lucky Bangles and the Kiyomori, and then you can get rid of True Spirit of Freedom and use a normal evade materia, and you'll be at 100% evade just fine. And all the rest of these items are, you know, free, and 3-star base TMR. So Cloud here has non-element, which is good, and no killer, which is good, because in all of my testing of this fight, every time I had a spirit killer or a element or light element weapon on Cloud friend unit, it actually dealt too much damage. So this should fit into the rotation pretty nicely. Alright, so let's get into it. So here's the rotation for the fight. It should only take 4 turns. If we want to be careful, maybe we'll take 5 turns, but it shouldn't take any more than this. So Drace, Dark Barrier on everybody. So everybody's now fully immune to dark magic attacks and dark element attacks, or element physical attacks. So the first thing you want to do with Mim, I'm going to use Defense Kill because it will give him a 50% break. Magna's going to use Sacred Flux. Warrior of Light will AoE cover, and we use Continuum Cut twice with Cloud. So this should deal a hefty amount of damage. Alright, about 27%. Which is perfect. So Warrior of Light's counters, you want to hope that they all like kind of hit Mim and fill up her limit burst. So we want that filled up by like turn 3 or turn 4. So next we use Cradle of Horns with Drace. That puts everybody's defensive spears up by 100% and mitigates damage. for 2 turns. Mim at this point, if you're using Warrior of Light with Evade, you're going to use Magic Kill here if you want. If not, you want to use Attack Kill because you want to reduce the damage that Warrior Light's going to take from physical attacks. So let's just assume that you have a non-evade Warrior of Light. Let's do Attack Kill, right? Magna and Cloud will use the same thing, and Warrior of Light can use Brave Presence just to make sure that he provokes everything. So now we're under 50% after 2 turns. He used a buff on himself, okay? So this is where things like kind of get important. So you want to definitely Dispel on turn 3, right? Get that buff off of him. Once again, you want to use Magic Kill, right? Just make sure that no magic damage hurts you. Magna, Sacred Flux, Cloud, Double Limit, Continuum Cut again. And on this 3rd turn, Warrior of Light has, you know, nothing that he really needs to do, so you can just guard with him. So you see, everybody was resistant to dark damage, and Cloud and Warrior of Light, even without the dark resistance at 70%, that did no damage. That did absolutely nothing. With the Cradle of Horns up and all the dark resist up, that was harmless. So now Drace once again going to start the rotation over again, right? We want to make sure that we have a full thing here. Now Mim can use her Limit Burst. Boss is not buffed, right? So Mim can use the Limit Burst on turn 3. We actually dispelled with Drace 1 turn beforehand, so we're just going to put back up the on turn 4, sorry. We're going to put back up the buff, AoE buff. Limit Burst finishes off the Limit Burst challenge for the fight. And we're once again going to use Sacred Flux. This time, we're only going to use Continuum Cut once, okay? Because we don't want to kill it right now, because we still have to cast magic on it. So we're just going to do this. This should leave it alive. Boom, right? 4%. If your Cloud is like super powerful, like this one is, DK Fit Nerds here is at 2347 attack, you might find you have Cloud friends at like 2800 attack on your friends list. If that's the case, don't chain on that turn, because you don't want to kill it. You know, just kind of whittle it down and keep this rotation up of keeping your protections in place. But this will be the kill turn here, so we're going to use Holy with Mim, that's why we put it on her. Magna can use Sacred Flux, and once again, Cloud can just do Continuum Cut. You actually only have to do it once, right? It's only got 4%, and you just chain this up, and the Holy will hit last, and we'll kill the boss, and that'll be the end of that. Boom, easy peasy. Cloud is really powerful, guys. Alright, so we got all the challenges there, just to show you. We used the Limit Burst with Mim, we defeated it with Magic with Holy, and we did it with 5 or less. So you'll get all the challenges by doing it that way. The rotation here shown is, use it as a baseline. You know, you may have to adjust depending on the power level of the Cloud you bring. So just, you know, don't always, you know, double Continuum Cut if you see it's doing an extremely huge amount of damage because you don't want to kill it too early. But, yeah, that's how you do it. Everybody should have, you know, some Clouds on their friends list at this point, I'm assuming. He's really, really strong. And this fight was not too difficult, considering the banner units. Like, Sora and Cloud can probably both wipe this thing easily by themselves. But, there you go. There's a nice free-to-play squad for you to take, and you really don't even need gear on you know, 2 of the characters. You don't even need gear on. You don't even really need gear on Magna either. It's just to build up chain damage, and that's it. Enjoy your Oblivion Keyblade on Sora for those of you who have them, and I will catch you guys next time.